Today I'm going to show you a really easy way to mount a full-length mirror without putting holes in your wall. I wanted to do this project for two reasons. One, I need an extra mirror in a guest bedroom, but more importantly, I'm working on an idea for an art installation that's going to involve setting up a whole bunch of temporary mirrors in the desert. So I was looking for a low-cost solution where I could precisely set the angle of a mirror. But enough of that, let's get to the build. We're going to start by reinforcing the mirror with 3/4 inch thick furniture grade plywood. I used a pencil to trace the outline of the mirror, and then I clamped down a straight edge so that I can make nice straight cuts with my circular saw. Now remember to account for the blade guard on the circular saw, which means you just have to have the straight edge a few inches over from the blade. I then gave the plywood a light sanding with my orbital sander and 150 grit sandpaper. I'm using construction adhesive to glue the mirror to the plywood. I just squirted some on, evened it out with a stick, and then used some of these 99-cent squeeze clamps to clamp the mirror to the board. Now I used some scrap pieces of plywood just to protect the glass from the clamps. I recommend letting the construction adhesive cure a full 24 hours. I then double checked the width measurement on the mirror and then cut some 2x6s to make a frame that'll be the mold for the concrete base. I screwed these together with 3-inch long screws. I'm just making a frame that's open in the back. Now to give it stability, I screwed on a scrap piece of plywood, and I just double checked to make sure that my side pieces weren't angled in so that everything would be nice and square. Now I'm going for an interesting texture here, and I'm saving some time and not having to use melamine like I typically do for concrete blocks. This time I'm just putting a plastic trash bag inside this mold, and then I'm mixing some Quikrete 5000 and shoveling it into the mold. This way the plastic is acting as a non-stick surface between the concrete and the wood. Quikrete 5000 is my go-to concrete mix. I just got a 50-pound bag for about $5. It's super strong at 5,000 psi. It's well above typical 3,000 psi concrete. Once the frame was about 3/4 of the way full with the bag of concrete, I just pushed down on it a little bit to kind of get out some of the bubbles, and then placed the mirror directly onto the bag and then pushed it into the concrete to create a nice perfectly angled groove, so that the mirror can sit in this nice stable base and still be touching the wall just at the top. And this is why I left the back off of the frame of 2x6s, so that the crevice in the concrete block will be at just the right angle when I push it all to the wall. After letting the concrete cure for 24 hours, I peeled off the bag and had to pull a few little pieces of plastic that were stuck in between the concrete, but wasn't that hard. I can now set this sturdy concrete block right against the wall, and then place the mirror and plywood right into it, and everything's at the perfect angle. Now, I personally like this kind of textured concrete look, but if you wanted a smoother, more minimalist look, you could use melamine and make a nice square rectilinear block without too much trouble. Check out Quikrete.com if you want to learn more about the concrete products that I use, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Thanks! Bye.